Pastor Robbie George coming to you today. Let me get this phone fixed here. Make sure it's facing. It's got to be facing out. I made that mistake before, so let's get this part right. I have officially finished my loads today, so I am finished for the year as far as loads go. So I am finished for the year as far as work goes, other than getting back home and taking care of those kinds of things. And I was about 15 minutes behind on my schedule here getting done, but I'm in the town of Sanford right now. So Sanford, North Carolina, about an hour and 5 minutes, something like that from the house. A lot of traffic in this place. Seen a lot of traffic today. Obviously, it is Monday, December the 23rd, 2024. Today is my 55th. I have reached the speed limit, 55th birthday. Thank God for another year. Thank God for His protection this year, giving me another year of life. Many people don't get to see that number, so I praise the Lord He's allowed me to see that number. If you knew the life I've lived and would have known me a lot of years ago, back in the mid-90s, you definitely would tell me there's no way he's going to see 55. So it's all Jesus Christ today. And plus all those people that spoke life into me, believed in me, and knew that I could be better. So if you're struggling out there with addictions like I did, or if you've got habits, hang-ups, you can make it. You can come out of those things and you can do better with your life. I'm living proof of that. But thank God for 55 years. I've reached the speed limit. I don't know if I'll get that 10% discount. Maybe I'll get to check it out here in the next week or so, as today is the last work day of 2024. There'll be plenty of work to do around the house, but other than that, so I just came from Wilson, North Carolina to Sanford, North Carolina this morning, and then we're traveling now from Sanford, North Carolina to High Point at this present time. I've got to stop and take lunch. I've got to do my walk, get those things done. So we'll be hitting the highway here in just a second and heading it north. This has been the turn I've been wanting to take all day. It's been a good trip for the most part. We sit back now and reflect on what has been a good year at Carpenter Company. October the 31st, it made 2 years that I've been at Carpenter Company. So I've been there now 2 years and about 2 months. That was one of the best moves I ever made back there in 2022. We've seen a lot of change, a lot of loss, a lot of things happen in the last 3 to 4 years with our families. Seen a lot of people leave us. These are people that you can't replace. but we've seen the Lord add to our family at the same time. And as with any family, we've seen our share of loss and we've seen our share of gain. Job said it best: the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. We pray for those in our families that have had such great loss. We try to pray for them on the way to work every morning, that God will help them through this day. Give them grace to get through this day and comfort. But next Sunday we'll finish up the ministry year as we preach our last message for 2024. And it's going to be on a fresh start. It's going to be coming out of the book of Deuteronomy 34. As Moses dies, Joshua comes along, leads the children of Israel into the promised land. We're going to be talking about the promises of God. We're going to be talking about how God buries his workmen, but the work goes on. And then we're going to be talking about how there is a need in every church to install that leadership to continue the legacy of the church. Leadership is influence. Obviously, we're not in a place to add leaders to our church yet, but we will be one day. But we're going to be preaching on a fresh start as Moses departs the scene. Joshua comes on. It said Moses had laid his hands upon him. Joshua had been Moses' minister, but we're going to get some good study in the next week or so, 9 days, whatever it is, and get to study a little more than we get to on a normal day. We just normally get to study a good bit on Saturday and Sunday, but we'll get next 9 days good study in, and looking forward to the break. It's kind of messed us up this time. Janet got off last Thursday and she's going to be off Friday. She was off last Friday and today while I'm working, and next Monday and Tuesday I'll be off while she's working, so it hasn't lined up perfectly for us, but just have to appreciate those times that it does. It may be 7 years before it lines up again like it did last year. I think we had 11 straight days together, and really the only time of year we get to, she gets her 4th of July break. I don't get that, and I take my vacation next year. It's looking like the 1st of June, the first week of June, and then Labor Day. That's our goal anyway. That's in God's hands, and He answers those prayers and grants us the vacation that we're needing and that we want to take, and then we get the Christmas break, a good break at Christmas. But thank God for our job today. Appreciate the Lord for that. I made a job change late in life. That's not what you normally see, but that's the way God led us at 53 years old to give up a job we've been up for 15 years. Came off the road in 2007. November the 19th was the last day I ever spent on the road. So it's been 17 years ago, November the 19th, I came off the road, and 37 years old, getting ready to turn 38, and made a big change there. That was the best change for me at that time, and God brought deliverance in our life, and in or about December, I say January the 23rd of 2010, and it would take about another year. But God knew what He was doing when He brought me off that road, because 2 years later He would call us into the gospel ministry. So we never seen these things coming, that's for sure. But God always has a plan, a purpose for every person ever been born. 421 goes straight up out of Sanford up to Greensboro, North Carolina. Then you can take it and go west and go on up into Wilkesboro and Boone. And then I think it turns into 321 and goes on over into Tennessee. But as far right here, the 421 runs south to north. Take it back to the south all the way to Wilmington. Like I said, you can take it all the way to the Tennessee line or near there up around the Boone area. I've traveled all those roads for the most part. Coming into the city of Sanford there, you'll see this exit coming up Highway 1 to take you to Raleigh. I-0115. 87 will take you back to Fayetteville, but Raleigh, Pittsburgh, Southern Pines is off of that exit. Not much traffic on this road. I knew when I would get over into this part of the journey today, which is the best part, I knew that wouldn't be that much traffic on this part of my journey today. I've seen my share of traffic. I'm glad to be out of it. Today, after a day that started at 18 degrees and going to keep the temperature in the 30s, today we're supposed to get back to the 50s tomorrow and Wednesday on Christmas Day. Days after Christmas are showing in the 50s, very mild for this time of year. Lord's getting ready to give us a good stretch of weather. It says right there. It needs a little work, I can tell you that. This road's in rough shape, but I guess they'll be paving it and getting it ready to put that highway through here. I guess that's going to run from Wilmington up to Boone. I reckon 685 will. I'm not real sure. That's the case. It's warmed up a little bit outside, but I'm well dressed for the weather because, like I said earlier on the other video, I don't have no heat in the truck. But right now it's a furnace in here because the heat is kicking off of the motor back into the truck. I just called the garage to see if they needed me to drop the truck off, but the part has not come in, and they told me if it comes in on Thursday or Friday this week, they'll just come over and fix the truck. They said it's a simple fix, and they'll fix it while it's sitting there in the yard, but I give him my number to call me if he needed to do that. That way I need to run the key over there and unlock the door or something. That was good to hear. It's a simple fix, so even if the part don't come in as soon as it does, I can run the truck over and get it fixed fairly simply. Just pray the part comes in. I start praying that way. I was down there on land earlier. Down there around Wilson, it was flat as a pancake. And we're getting back to the Piedmont, a little bit hillier. Not flat no more. I ran 42 west over and hit 95 down to 50 west, and 50 west put me on 421 north. That's the way I got here to Sanford. It was a pretty good trip. I came through the town of Benson there. I look at Benson on the webcam right there in the center of town where the railroad track comes through, so I point, Merry Christmas to each of you. Here is the Deep River now. Anybody that knows our area coming into Chatham County, the Deep River will take you to Asheboro. It will take you to Randall. I fished in that Deep River over my lifetime. There's some big fish in that river. Cross it again, I believe, before we get home on this road, or definitely on another road. I believe the Deep River empties into Ocala Lake, I believe, or Ocala Lake runs in the Deep River anywhere you go. I had to call in a while ago and estimate my time being done today because the plant shuts down at 12 o'clock. So get that time in, and normally the process is if they're there when I get back, I just write my time down, or I write it down the next morning if I'm there, or they call me and get my time from the previous day. That's the way it works in our job. They call it the honor system. Cinnamon rolls and pastries. They trying to sell it for Christmas, ain't they? There's the post office to the right for this town of Gulf, G-U-L-F. I don't know if you can find that on a map. It may be on there, but I don't know how many people live in the town of Gulf, but I guarantee you it's not that many. Stop and take my lunch here in a little bit. We'll do the video till I get up there. Siler City maybe is where I take my lunch when I'm down in this part of the world. Bethany Baptist Church there to the right. I think we got a Bethany Baptist Church up there in Thomasville where we live. Speaking of Thomasville, I'd like to have me a taco from La Coretta now that I'm thinking about food. One of the favorite spots we hit in the town of Thomasville. Janet's got a few that she hits too with her girlfriends, but we're lady friends, Christian ladies. They go over and hit a couple spots, some I've never been to. Oh, it's a lot better to be on this side of the day, because I'm going to tell you, it was rough on the other side this morning. God is faithful. It's just hard to fathom we're going into 2025 here in just 8 days' time. Who would have thunk it? It just seems like yesterday it was Y2K turning 2000 and everything was going to shut off trucks on the road today. I've been noticing that. There are always going to be trucks on the road, but most of them have reached their destination. And they've called it a year. We're getting ready to do the same here after a while. Here's the exit for Goldston and Pittsboro. Exit 159. I guess that'll be 159 miles to 421 ends up there somewhere around Boone. I don't think that would be at the Tennessee line, because I swear I think you got to jump on 321 to get over there at the end of 421. I've run up and down through there. I don't care to do it again unless I'm on the scenic tour. I get all the travel I want, I can tell you that with my job. God's blessed me there. I appreciate the talents the Lord's given us to drive a truck. Done it all my life since I was 16, probably been in a truck since I was born. So that's about 55 years in a truck. Faith was born on October the 12th, and the state fair is always around that time, and we took her to the state fair. I think she was 3 days old. I was probably in a truck when I was 3 days old. That's just giving you a summary of my life. I've spent a lifetime in a truck. I've been in every state but Maine and the lower 48, Alaska and Hawaii outside of our lower 48. So I've been in the lower 47 of the 48. Usually you don't see no traffic on this road. That's the thing about this road. So you know it's the holiday season, because there is traffic. Usually you don't see a whole lot of people on this road. We live in a good part of the country. Our weather is good for the most part. We get enough rain where we don't have to worry about too many forest fires. We get very little snow. We don't want none of that. I loved it when I was a kid, but I don't care for it no more, because it's too big trouble. Too much trouble. You got to worry about your kids and grandkids out there on the roads in it. We don't care for snow at all. I don't care if it ever snows again. We done had one snow this year. It was a kind of surprise deal. Pretty dry around here right now. We could use some rain. Bear Creek to the left, Chatham Central High School, Pittsboro to the right. That's 902. time. You never see home. All these companies advertise home on the weekend since 1994. I see that on one truck. Their weekend or their explanation of being home on the weekend is Saturday morning to Sunday afternoon. You talk to some people out here that have been gone for 3 or 4 weeks and haven't seen home, and they get 1 day at home for every week they're gone. So you stay gone 4 weeks, you're home 4 days, you're gone 4 weeks again. It's not the life for nobody. But if it wasn't for the truckers, there wasn't nothing getting nowhere. That was a chicken hauler there, buddy, coming out of Mountain Air Chicken. We have a lot of chicken companies in North Carolina. Frozen chickens they'll be. I've never seen a chicken hauler with a moffat on the back of his truck where he can unload that stuff to the ground. That was a first. He's probably local though. Probably got a couple customers. They have to deliver to like that. A CDL license is something valuable to have in your back pocket. You'll never be without a job, I'll tell you that. As long as you're a safe driver. I know a lot of people that don't ever drive no more. They went and done other things, but they keep that license. You just never know. We got some fire going on up here in front of us. I don't know what's going on, but we'll see when we get there possibly. Looks like we're coming into Siler City already, so. It's been a rough year, I'll tell you, as far as I've had more challenges this year than I had last year, that's for certain. And we got hit with some things this year we weren't expecting financially. You know, the economy's bad enough, and then at the first of the year, we got hit with that where you had to pay on your house. I just had it on the tip of my tongue, the escrow. We got hit with that, and it wasn't like we normally get hit $200 or $300. It was a large number, and we weren't expecting that, but God provided. Then we didn't have the right numbers on the taxes they were taking out on my pay, and oh man, we got hurt when we went to file taxes, and it hurt our feelings for about 3 or 4 months. But God provided a miracle to get that paid for. Then what happened with the church in May, I mean, just boom, 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 there at the beginning of the year, we were taking some hits there between February and May, but God knew it in January. house. North Carolina Zoo is to the left here. I've been watching that North Carolina Zoo Files. You can look on, I think it's the Discovery Channel, and they follow our North Carolina Zoo. All over this country, they follow it on the Discovery Channel now, and it's a fairly good show. I like watching it. Raleigh is 48 miles there to the east. We done had our fill of Raleigh this morning. Pittsburgh is 15 miles to the east right there. I'm looking, and to the left here I see the Siler City limit sign up here at the next light by the Waffle House. Sometimes I'll hit that ramp right there, straight ahead of you. I frequent this area quite a lot these days with my new job, and it's not a new job now, it's my job. Coming into it. Siler City. For those of you that don't know, this is the town of Aunt Bee of Mayberry. Andy Griffith fame. She is buried here in the city of Siler City. This is where she lived out all her days. That Waffle House there has a pretty good crowd right there right now. Gas for unleaded right there is $2.69. Diesel is $3.46. Here is Siler Crossing. I've eaten there at that Biscuitville a time or two. This parking lot. We're going to get that walk in, and then we're going to take lunch maybe right here in the same location. Kimbrell's Triangle Fitness. Adcock Home Furnishings and more. I thought all those places had closed down. Elizabeth's Pizza over there here in Siler City. So we got one of them in Thomasville, and there's one over in High Point. That's a good looking white truck right there. He's got that thing shined up for Christmas. Got some seagulls here in the parking lot, if you can see them there as they take off. I've always wondered, what in the world, do seagulls get lost or what? That store there says love to vape. I wish that wasn't so, that stuff never came about, but Safeguard Safety Shoe Store there now. I used to go and deliver to that place in Greensboro, the one that they ship all them out of. So we're gonna go get our walk in, and then we are gonna come back here and take our lunch. Unhook it here, just bear with me a moment, and I'm going to try to keep you intact and not cut you off here. All right, I got about 36 minutes already invested here. We're going to get our little mission Bible out here. I might read some scriptures as I'm walking. I hope it's warmed up out here. So I am at 37 minutes. Oh man, I'm smelling some good food here. I don't know which direction it's coming from, but it smells good. When you're hungry, everything smells good. Everybody knows that, don't you? I've hit that Biscuitville over a time or two. It definitely don't feel as bad as it did earlier this morning. There we go. See there? I forgot I had it turned around the other way. So that Biscuitville over there, I've hit it a time or two. There's a Tractor Supply over there. See new Tractor Supply fans. Everybody's getting that lunchtime urge to grab some food. That's what we're getting ready to do too. There's some McDonald's there. Everywhere I go, there's McDonald's. But this morning, we're gonna get this walk in. 8 minutes up, 8 minutes back. And then we're gonna take lunch and pull out that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then we're gonna put a bow on this year here after a while. I believe I have delivered over there in that shopping center before. With my old job there, I'm seeing that Countryside Collectibles over there. I delivered in that shopping plaza before. Oh yeah. Y'all might not be a McDonald's fan, but I am. I know our president is too. But I definitely am a fan. Too much. But oh, it's smelling good this morning. I might have to say no. It's a Ford dealership. Good looking black truck. 16 grand. 16 off, I'm sorry. Up to 16 off. $16,000 off. I knew that was wrong. I don't know. I wasn't thinking there for a second. Good looking truck, so found on the road dead. That's the only problem. I am walking in a westerly direction here. There's the LAM Chinese restaurant. That place over across the street there I delivered with my old job behind the Kentucky Fried Chicken there. It was a tough delivery, best I can remember. This is Crossroads Ford here. Siler City. I hear that advertised on the radio. My goodness, I found the traffic, that's for sure. I like to have these sidewalks to walk on. A lot of times you have to walk in the grass to keep from getting hit. So we definitely don't want to allow that to happen. $5,000 off that one there. If that's your flavor, all of them look to be $5,000 off. Got a little less expensive truck right there. They got a big chicken processing plant right here. I've delivered to that place too before. That's what I'm saying. On my old job, I used to deliver to everything. I've delivered to some of the same spots too on my new job that I used to on my old. So 36 is where I started, almost 37 minutes, so I'm at 4 minutes right now. Mighty lot of traffic out today. That restaurant over there, Johnson's, been there since 1946, it says. It's got a legacy there with it. There got to be something good over there. There's a food line in this parking lot here. Siler Crossing Vision Center. It says, hurry, use your vision care benefits before they expire December 31st. I think we did that back in May. There's people everywhere today. ahead and walk around these people. I'll be sitting here forever. Let's see, 37. So I'm at about 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes. So by the time I get the food line and walk back, I'll be in a good position. Got a Days Inn over there. Benjamin Moore Chatham Paint Center. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charging stations out here for your Tesla. There's only one hooked up to it right now. I guess he could hook up to that thing and go and get his groceries while he waits. That's pretty cool, I guess. That's your thing. O2 Dental, I'm not familiar with that. Everybody's headed to the cricket store, it looks like. Oh, the Pizza Hut. My goodness, I didn't have to walk by there. Oh yeah, I'd like to have some pizza. I like pizza too much as well. Food line is 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. They're probably open all about the same. I bet that place will be popping in the next day or so. There's barely an opening spot out here right now. So I said I'll share some scriptures. I'll read out of Luke chapter 2, where we usually would read on a Christmas morning. We shared these scriptures yesterday with the church. Very familiar scripture to everybody. Even if you're a Peanut fan, Charlie Brown fan, you know these scriptures. Luke chapter 2, verse 1, and it says, "And it came to pass in those days that there went out this decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And this taxing was first made when Cyrenius was governor of Syria." Syria's in the news these days. "And all went to be taxed, everyone into his own city. Joseph also went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, to a city of David, which is called Bethlehem, because he was of the house and lineage of David, to be taxed with Mary, his espoused wife, being great with child. And it says, so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn." Very familiar scripture to us this morning. Jesus came on that first Christmas morning as a baby in a manger. But when he comes again, he's coming as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He's King of Kings and Lord of Lords today, because he's seated at the right hand of the Father, because his work is complete. But he walked on this earth just like I'm walking right now for 3.5 years. And he accomplished everything that he had to. 33.5 years, forgive me. He accomplished everything he had to accomplish in that time. And But he was born as a baby in a manger, just like every baby comes into the world. Jesus came the same way. So as I'm walking back eastbound now, I'll be seeing the truck here in just a moment. And when I get back on this 421 going north, I'll go up 421 north and I'll hit I-85. I'll be coming into I-85 of one exit south of the Cracker Barrel there at Elmsley Court, if you know where it's at, exit 124. We live at exit 111 in the High Point Archdale exit. So just to give you an idea, it's 13 miles up in the city of Greensboro. I'll be coming into 85 there, one exit south of there, and then run 85 down to Business 85 and then go into the Home 20 today. I can see the McDonald's I am at right now. 12 minutes. 12 minutes right now. People gonna buy them a car for Christmas anyway. Looks like they'd buy a Chevrolet. But I hope you and your family, as I bring this video to a close. Oh man, I think I'm getting a whiff of Burger King now. Got a slight wind coming out of the east, it appears. It's not an extremely cold wind, but the sun is shining on me. That's probably the reason why it isn't, but I'll be taking my lunch here in just a moment. And then, as I make this left turn here, coming to 50 at 13 minutes right here. Hopefully that seagull won't leave me no favors on my toboggan this morning. I guess it's still morning. I'm not sure. It's about to be after lunch. It may already be. But I thought that Badcock Home Furniture and More, I thought they filed for bankruptcy. Maybe it's at the end of this year, but they've closed down their huge distribution center in Mebane. That's one of the locations I go over and walk at in that industrial park. That place has been shuttered for some time now. They really can't compete with like Ashley Furniture and Rooms to Go and those kinds of places. It's like Walmart putting a hurting on all the little mom and pop stores. Nobody puts a hurting on McDonald's though. They're doing just fine. Even a couple quarter pounders that killed a couple people, or at least one person I know of, that couldn't stop McDonald's. But this morning, as we bring this to a close, thanking God for some good weather that's coming up. Hopefully we're past the cold. That was rough. When it gets down into the teens for a couple days, it's not my best kind of weather. So often you'll see people in these parking lots like this sitting taking their lunch from their work or something like that. I see several people. They're probably doing other things too, it appears, but you can look around the parking lot. Trucks everywhere. Some of these trucks probably live here. They park their trucks in this parking lot. But God bless you today. Merry Christmas to you. Pastor Robbie, George, Archdale Baptist Church.